how do you think your first 3 games have gone?
Overall, for myself, I feel like I'm hitting the ball pretty well. Unfortunately, I missed 2 so far, and so don't like to make any excuses, but definitely there's always room to get better, and I'm kind of learning as I go. So this is really like the first time I've kicked field goals for a team. I have experience punting and kicking off, so kind of learning as we go, but a few mistakes that obviously I shouldn't make and wish I had back, but overall I feel like I'm going in the right direction with me and the operation. Me, Gavin, and Lane, we've got a lot of experience together.
What kind of mistakes? Like technique?
Not really more technique. It was more like rushing out there. I know on the first one, play clock was kind of running down, so I was kind of rushing and just like, obviously I need to slow down and get my routine, slow down, take a breath. But yeah, that's really about it, that and just eye discipline.
When you go out there, whatever distance, what'd you think I think your first one was what, 50?
It was, yeah, 51.
For a guy who, like you said, hadn't, I guess was that the first time you had been in any type of situation of a field goal, or did you?
I've had 1 field goal at Alabama, but really, as a starter, that was the first kick, but every kick's the same, so I treat a PAT the same as if it was a 60-yarder, so you always want to hit the same exact ball. So I really don't worry too much about distance. And when I'm running out there, the worst thing to do is just kind of look at how far it is and whatnot, so I just go out there and treat every kick the same and try not to think about how far it is.
Jack, do you look at, field goals? I mean, it's an opportunity to produce points. You look at it like, when the team maybe is struggling to get points, you're sort of a guy that can provide that spark, maybe get some points on that drive. Do you look at it sort of that way, that you do your part and maybe everything else?
Yeah, well, for every specialist, points is always important, and then your job's important. And as a specialist, whenever you get your number called or whatever, you always want to produce because you have limited opportunities in a game. So, I always want to help my team out and do what I can for the team.
What is your relationship like with Lane? Like, you coming from a punting background and him being pretty experienced and having success now, what is your day-to-day like with him?
Well, he's also my roommate. Him and my long snapper, Gavin, so we all 3 live together.
All live together?
We all live together, so that definitely helps out a lot, and we build the relationship off the field, which helps on the field, because I trust him to get the ball down, holding, and then, like you said, punting, it's more of like, well, he has experience, and I know I've punted in the past at Troy, but every kicker's different. He does his thing, and I do my thing, and his could be different than mine, so I try and stay out, because obviously it's working for him. But we're definitely real close.
Why are Australian kickers so predominant? What is happening in Australia that you think?
Well, yeah, they're definitely running the punting game now. No, they definitely are taking over college football. But really, I've kind of learned from Lane, and then I've been actually with an Australian at the past few schools. So they grow up, like Americans grow up throwing the football, they grow up punting. And so Lane has experience in the AFL. And so, he was doing pretty well with that, and that's all it is punting. So that's how they pass to each other, is punt. So, he just can do it with his eyes closed. So that's what he's been doing his whole life, really.
So U of H's punter before Lane is a guy named Dane Roy.
Yep.
And he and I have this argument about recruiting kickers. He wants to recruit a big-legged kicker, and I want to recruit a kicker that's accurate.
Yep.
Which do you think is more important if you had to choose one?
Really, I'd like to say you want a happy medium of both. Obviously, as a kicker, you want to make everything inside of 40 yards. So
you hear that, Lane? Or Dane?
Yeah, you want to make, as a kicker, you want to make every kick inside of 40 yards, but it obviously helps having a big leg, because when the offense gets really to the 40-yard line, you want to be able to have an opportunity to at least take advantage of getting points.
Jack, what is, can you kind of take us through, you mentioned Troy, so you went there, you were punter?
I was, punter and kickoff guy, so.
And then how did, was it just as basic as it sounds, transfer portal type deal where you went to Bama, or how did you end up at Bama? Yeah,
just correct. There was just some things at Troy where I thought it was best to look elsewhere, and that's where I got the opportunity to go to Alabama, and they ended up bringing an Australian in, and they thought I was a better kicker. And so, so I was a kicker and kickoff guy over there at Alabama, yes.
Is the, for those who maybe haven't been on that level, what was it like?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. I definitely think my whole journey, I didn't get much playing time, I guess, there. So I got to play in 9 games over my course of 2 years. But really, I feel like I've definitely grown as a person, definitely gotten more mature mentally, which I feel like is benefiting me here. And learned a lot of things behind Will Reichard. He was the kicker there. And so, definitely a lot of things that I've taken from Alabama to use here.
You made the playoff one of those years, right?
Yeah, there was, we won the SEC championship, and we got to play in the Cotton Bowl, and then we lost the national championship.
Oh, so you played in the national. Did you kick off in that game?
I did not.
Okay. The other thing was, I guess, your background, or I think you were number 1 net punter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a preference, in terms of
which one? I mean, I like to say I could really do it all, but really whatever the coaches want me to do is what I want to do. So go out there, and however I can help the team, which obviously that's kicking now. So that's what I like.
Where can you improve?
Well, there's always room for improvement, but in my opinion, it's definitely just being a little bit more consistent in games. So obviously, like I said, I missed 2 the first game, so I want to be able to go out there, and obviously every kicker wants to make every kick they can attempt, but which is very hard to do. But that's always the goal. So I like to at least strive for perfection. So even though if you don't hit it, I mean, at least I got the guts to shoot for it,
What has Mark Scott done helping you technique-wise? Like, this is a whole different game than kicking off, right?
Yep.
So what has he helped you with?
Well, really giving me confidence and believing in me. So I know a lot of the coaches don't know. A lot of coaches don't really know too much about kicking. All these kickers have kicking coaches, but the kicking game's huge. It's like 90% mental. So that's really all it is. And so I thank him a lot, giving me all the confidence that I need running out there. Because if he believes in me, I believe in myself. And it's good to have, especially even all the coaches, not even Coach Scott, all the coaches believing in me going out there. It makes it a lot easier.
Jack, was Marcus Jones at Troy when you were there?
He left right before I got there.
Okay.
He did.
And on how you guys have done on kickoffs coverage, I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, you guys haven't allowed a big play. You've been happy with how you wanted to put the ball, and then also when they do bring it out, how the coverage teams.
Yeah, no, the coverage team's definitely doing good, and that, like I said, helps kicking the mental aspect a lot, knowing that if you don't kick it in the end zone, and if you hit it high and to the goal line or the 5-yard line and they're taking it out, you got the guys to make the tackle. So
you kicked many to Matthew Golden in practice, and
yeah. I'm glad I don't have to tackle him.
last line of defense.
Yeah.
Since we don't get to talk to you as much, Jack, we know now sort of your journey, but anything else that sticks out, or you got a little bit of a kicker backstory, or anything besides your love for Starbucks?
Yeah, I know. I see you at Starbucks a lot. Definitely a big coffee guy.
Get an NIL deal.
Yeah, I know. That's what I need to work on. But no, not really. Just really glad to be here, and I'm loving Houston. It's obviously a great spot. Love the Houston food, and it's really about it. Enjoy it.
Here when you were looking at schools, or
I actually did know Coach Chris Forrestay, or however you say his last name. I always call him Coach Forestfire, so that's what I call him because I'm bad with pronouncing his name. But I knew him from high school and the recruiting wise. But really, no, they reached out, and that was really about it.
I know they never get as much love, but this is your chance to plug your long snapper.
Yeah.
The job that they do, I know it kind of goes under the radar.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. We try and give him the recognition he needs. But no, it's definitely a lot harder job, especially as a specialist. Not too many people know exactly what all goes into it. But Gavin, Lane, Gars, they all 3 can do their job. I mean, they're probably some of the best I've seen. And so they work real hard at it, and they're very successful. And they make my job a lot easier.
The Scott Street Specialists, I know y'all eat good on Thursdays.
Yeah, we just got that hook up.
To take off and sort of, like we joke that, there's NIL opportunities,
Yep.
but people maybe don't look at kickers or
Yep.
punters and say, okay, those are the guys we're going to go to. We're going to
Yep.
get a quarterback or running back. What's it like to kind of get some opportunities like that and be able to have a brand like y'all are building with the.
Well, the whole NIL thing, we're, as a Scott Street specialist, I mean, we're not really trying to take advantage of like our personal gain, but we really take advantage of it. It's a time to like gather on Thursday night. That's our night. And so during the football season, it's pretty hectic. And so it's good to just get away. You know what I mean? Football surrounds our whole life. So it's sometimes good to just get away and hang out as guys and just relax for the upcoming game.
Now, did you say you and Lane y'all were roommates?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So didn't he get married though?
He did. So he was married before I got here.
Okay.
So I believe it was the May before I got here. May, yeah.
So you crashing with the Wilkins?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, she's here too?
Yeah, she's there. She's there. So she's like the house mom. She's like my second mom. That's what I call her. Yeah.
How do you think your season has gone so far?
Me personally, I'm just happy to be out there, but offensively wise, I think we need to step it up a little bit. Our coach told us yesterday that just to cut it loose, play fast, and just have fun playing football. So I think you'll see a little bit of a change this Saturday, hopefully.
Do you think the team or certain players have been pressing too much? Or?
Oh yeah, every time you lose, someone's always gonna start pressing, especially going into our first Big 12 game after we lost to Rice. It was a bit chaotic in the locker room, but a lot of people needed to hear that stuff. So, and we played a little bit better on offense. It didn't look like it, but we did. And then, as I said, Coach Hogue said, just have fun. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself and just have fun.
Were y'all hearing so much about the Big 12 opener? Did that weigh on you guys a little bit? Or?
We heard it a lot from the outside, but we tried to block that stuff out. Coach Hogue didn't really bring it up to us just because every week we just have to respect our opponent like it was any other game. So, yeah.
From an offensive standpoint, when you hear Coach say, that he wants people to step up, challenges, have you seen a difference in how maybe some of the guys came out yesterday, practiced, or?
Oh yeah, yesterday, even my position coach, Coach Meekin, said something felt different. My teammate Mike O'Loughlin yesterday, he was very vocal, just having fun, but at the same time being very serious, trying to get our work done, and it was a good change of pace from the other weeks that we had.
Are you guys at a point? I mean, it's 3 games in, but by no stretch is the season.
Right.
Is it doomed?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you guys turn around the direction, so to speak?
Well, the defense has been playing very good. It's more of an offensive thing, and we just need to put some points on the board because the defense has been playing lights out, and we just have to pick it up a little bit. But I think we'll be in very good shape come Saturday and just keep that momentum up to Texas Tech in our bye week.
I saw something in your bio was something you could address. Can you tell me about just your grandfather and the background there? He played at Auburn.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And he went on to be a firefighter, and that's sort
Yeah.
of the path you're taking right now that you
Yeah.
want to take. Can you kind of
Yeah.
that a little bit?
So my grandpa out of high school, he went to De La Salle in Chicago, the same one I went to. And out of high school, he got invited to a camp for the Bears, but he ended up going to Auburn instead. And at Auburn, he ended up hurting his knee and then became a firefighter and then had a big old family I looked up to him so much growing up. He came to all my football games or as much as he could. And he had so much faith in me growing up, and I just trying to live on his legacy of being a great football player.
What position he played?
Offensive line.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Jack Byrnes.
Okay. So you, some people want to be businessmen, doctors.
Yeah.
You want to run into burning
Yeah.
buildings. Does it go beyond your grandfather? Is that a family occupation type deal? Or?
Well, I live right down the street from a firehouse, and hearing that siren go off and all the firefighters scruffling around, putting on their gear, just kind of puts a fire in my eyes too. So, and it just kind of inspired me to become a firefighter. Not just only my grandpa, but seeing them other guys do it. It's very inspiring.
So is that one of those, I don't know if you tie it into your degree here, when you graduated and you decide, okay, I'm done with football, is it a matter of going, you apply at the academy and go
It's actually very hard in Chicago. It's like kind of like a lottery, but if you get picked and you have the opportunity to do it, I wouldn't hesitate to do it. It's such a good opportunity. So yeah, if I ever get the opportunity, I'm going to jump on it, I think.
They make it look so easy on the show. I'm sure you like the show Chicago Fire.
Yeah, I know a few people that work on it too, so yeah.
What's that?
I know a few people that work on it, like the producer and stuff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they're all from our neighborhood.
So, and you've also, you played against Mike?
O'Loughlin, yeah. So I was a sophomore, and he was a senior. And at that time, I was actually the backup quarterback for the varsity team. I didn't play tight end at that time. But yeah, he was a very good player in high school. We prepped up for him a lot. He did very good against us when we played against him.
Something else I wanted to ask you. Maybe along the lines of having Mike in there, you had Christian last year. It's kind of good to sort of have that older guy in the room.
Yeah.
How's that work dynamic-wise?
Yeah, so last year we had Christian, and the year before everyone that was in the room, we just looked up to him, trying to imitate what he did. And this year we got Mike, and he has a lot of experience as well. And he's helped our team a lot, being a leader, and just our position group alone. We've been very vocal and very loose, and trying to just better the team and better ourselves.
So Jack, talking to you last week and just putting Rice behind you, and now maybe sort of similar situation with TCU, just move on. How do you guys look at what's going on offensively, and how do you move on from that?
Coach Holk had us all come in here yesterday and kind of was talking to us, like telling his mess ups, telling our mess ups. And Coach Nagavi always says, when things are told to you, you got to take it personal, but also don't take it personal. And he was just reading off the things. I think in the first half we had 6 opportunities to score as an offense, and we didn't score once. I think the last time that happened I saw it was like 2014. We only managed to get 3 points, which is crazy to me, off of a forced fumble, a pick on the defense. We even had a kick return from Matt. And then at the end of the half, Malik almost took that field goal back. But you would think that we would have a lot of momentum after all those things. But clearly, some things just weren't what we thought was going to happen. O-line missed some blocks. Quarterback, did what he was supposed to do, went through his reads, whether he was supposed to hand it or throw it. He did his reads, and he did what he was supposed to do. Running backs, trying to hit the holes, and some holes were missed, obviously. But I think just collectively as a whole, we just gotta do better. And I believe in our offense, and I believe in this team. And I think that we're going to be able to learn from our mistakes and do better this week.
Dan's talked a few times to us about pad level, and that he was disappointed in your pad level this game. What can you do to change that?
So with pad level, I'd say, it's more of a mindset thing. It's more of a mental thing. But something that you could do as an offensive line is get under the chutes and just have that muscle memory, just being low. Working on blocks, just like the blocking pads, or just blocking people under the chutes. That's probably the biggest thing that'll help your pad level. And, other than that, I think it's just more of a mindset.
Jack, Dana told us yesterday that he was going to issue a challenge to second team, third team guys. From what you saw in the spring to now, has there been a big change? Because Dana mentioned that this was a sort of a Big 12 roster. They felt good coming in, and then we hear that they'd like to make some changes, but it's just not there. Have you seen? Has there been a change between the first team and what's behind you guys? Maybe just talking specifically about the offensive line.
For the offensive line, it's me, Pat, Tyler, Tank, and Ruben right now. But Shamar, He would be rotating in at right tackle. Peyton, he'll be rotating in at right guard. Max, he rotates in at like left guard, and then Demetrius obviously at center for the most part. I know that Coach Nagavi wants to play more guys because, I mean, I talked to him on the phone last weekend, and what he kind of said was, you know, at the end of the day, we need to play our other guys too, because towards the end of the season, we're going to need all of us. You know, there's no telling what could happen. Anything could happen to me or any of the other guys. So, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has to be ready to play. I think that this week, a lot of guys are going to play.
How would you rate your season so far?
How would I rate my season so far? I think, you know, overall, I feel like, I mean, personally, I think I've done a pretty good job. Trying to get this team just working as a whole has been a big objective of mine because, you know, like, I'm an older guy in the room, so just on the team in general, and being able to look up to like Ed Oliver and guys like that whenever I was a freshman and seeing how they would, you know, kind of run things whenever they were here, that just makes me want to kind of bring that type of energy and bring that type of camaraderie into this program. I think that for the offensive line, I think that I've done a fairly well job keeping us together, keeping us locked in for the most part. UTSA, I don't know if I had like my best game ever. I think I did my job for the most part. Rice, you know, I was dealing with some like foot stuff. So that was, I mean, I feel like I played okay then, but I mean, I've been dealing with things here and there, but just trying to get you know, my mind right, knowing the fact that this is my last year, and in reality, I'm thankful for COVID because it allowed me to play in the Big 12 and allowed me to have one more year in college to help my future out. But, I mean, we only got, nine more games promised to us, myself. So I feel like I'm just trying to take every day and use it to my full advantage. I mean, I don't know, and any day could be my last day that I play football. So, I mean, it's kind of starting to really hit me. It hit me on the way here that, I mean, I'm a senior and this is going to be over with after this year.
You said foot stuff. It was minor. You played every snap, right?
I played every snap.
Jack, the fourth downs and the short yardage, no, it's not all on one unit, but how as an offense do you guys break through on that, you know, getting those critical downs, those moments?
I think, you know, just like, I think it's more of a mindset. You know, like, we believe in each other. I think we just got to execute and make the play. That's all it boils down to, is just compete and execute. That's really all it boils down to. I mean, they're just routine plays. We do them every day. We've done them every day since fall camp, spring ball. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary that anybody does. I mean, other than just like some blitzes here and there, but I mean, there's literally nothing out of the ordinary. We've seen everything. We got a lot of older guys on offense. Donovan has a lot of experience. You know, Tony Mathis back there. We got some Parker, who's a freshman running back. Stacy has a lot of experience. BC has a lot of experience. You know, like, we have a lot of experience. There's nothing out of the ordinary that we have or haven't seen. So I mean, we just need to make the plays. That's all it boils down to.
Couple more.
Coming in, and again, it's been stressed that it's not just one area, but with Donovan, is this offense still, I don't want to use the term, are you guys still behind him, support him? He's your quarterback, but do y'all feel like, you know, this is an opportunity where he can be the guy that leads y'all to wins?
Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe in Donovan. I know a lot of the guys do too. I think that Donovan needs to, you know, be more vocal. That's my only thing that I try to get to him. I think that, you know, him being a quarterback, QB1 is a big position for a team. Whether you have the C in your chest or not, it's a huge position. You got to be vocal. I mean, you're the one that's looking at the sideline, getting all the plays, telling the receivers what to do, tight ends, O-line, and then knowing what you have to do at the end of the day. That's a big role. I mean, this is a hard offense to like learn as a quarterback. It really is. So people don't appreciate the fact that position alone is a hard position to play, especially coming in from another school. You know, being behind Clayton. I mean, or you know, following the footsteps of Clayton. I mean, Clayton was an exceptional quarterback, and I think Donovan can be an exceptional quarterback. He just needs to find his rhythm. We need to be able to protect him because I think that he can see some pressure here and there and kind of moves in the pocket, moves out of the pocket. But that falls on us. Like we all just got to play as a whole. I believe in Donovan. I know that he's going to do what he needs to do.
When you say it's a hard offense to learn, what do you mean by that?
I just think that, this is a very advanced offense. I think it's a really good offense. There's a lot of things that you can do out of this offense, it can be a big pass threat offense. It could be a big run threat offense. Even with just Donovan, he can pass and run the ball. I just think that there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't understand. He has to take under his belt, and I think that it can be a very stressful thing. At the end of the day, he is the quarterback, and it's his job to be able to handle that stress. But we put in plays each and every day. I'm talking about before the game. It can be kind of difficult sometimes, but at the end of the day, you just got to compete, execute, look at your playbook, and just do it on Saturday.
Jake, do you remember? I think you started that year. The game against Texas Tech here with Clayton. I think he had 4 interceptions, and right afterwards, people were calling for a quarterback change. And so Coach Holgerson brought it up yesterday. That moment. Were you the center, or was that Cody? That was Cody.
It was Cody.
But you were here, and I'm sure you were around it where you don't want to lose faith in a quarterback. You know that they can turn the corner. It's just when do you see any parallels with maybe Donovan? Not so much the turnovers and stuff, but just going through some early struggles and the need to stick with the guy or let him find his way through.
Yeah, something that I kind of talked about with Man Jack. Clayton was a starter, I think. He started his freshman year, which was my freshman year, 2018. And then Coach Holt came in here 2019 with his staff and brought his offense. Clayton played that whole 2019 year, had a good year. 2020 was a weird year. 2021, obviously, went to the bowl game, beat Auburn. He had an awesome year that year. And then last year he had an amazing year that year. So that's 4 years with Coach Holt. That just kind of shows you that it'll take some time to be able to mold a good quarterback from this offense. And Donovan, I think that Donovan, him just having a lot of experience under his belt helps him a lot. He's played in big games. He's beat big teams. And I think that, just having faith in him and letting him know that you trust him and he'll do the job or do a good job on Saturdays. I think that's a big thing for him, just knowing that you got positive reinforcement to him and just knowing that you're going to back him up regardless because, at the end of the day, he's your quarterback. He's the one that's going to win you or help you win those games on Saturdays. So, I do see a parallel between those two. That happened the year that we were 12-2, I believe, right? Yeah. So, that was at the beginning of the year. We have a lot of ball left. There's a lot of room for growth and just keep on climbing from here.
You think it's a matter of just, for this offense, just get in the end zone? Once you get in the end zone, things can, it can change. Is that what y'all need, basically, just to have either a quick scoring drive or assert your dominance and do a 15-play type deal where y'all show that, okay, we've got the ability? Is it just getting those results? Is that what y'all need?
Yeah, getting those results is huge for our offense. I think any offense can agree. The last time I think we really had a lot of momentum like that where we saw a big glimpse of our offense seeing that we can be an exceptional offense was at the fourth quarter of Rice. And, we were driving the ball. Defense was getting stops. We were scoring points. I just think that we didn't ever really get in a good rhythm this past game. And whenever we can get in a good rhythm, I think that, we can do a lot of big things on offense.